Mike thought he'd done everything right. He'd saved consistently. He had a decent nest egg, and on paper his retirement looked fine. What he didn't realize is that 7 small, easy-to-miss decisions, none of them reckless, none of them obvious, were quietly working against him the entire time. Individually, each one seems minor. Added together, they can drain tens of thousands of dollars out of a retirement that otherwise looked completely secure. Here are the 7 mistakes silently draining retirement savings, and exactly how to catch each one before it costs you. Mistake number 1. Claiming Social Security on autopilot. Most people claim the moment they're eligible at 62, without ever calculating their break-even age, or running the numbers against waiting until full retirement age or 70. As of 2026, full retirement age is 67 for anyone born in 1960 or later, and claiming at 62 permanently reduces your benefit by roughly 30%. That's not automatically the wrong choice, but making it without doing the math is the mistake, and it's often where the biggest silent drain begins. Mistake number 2. Ignoring required minimum distributions until the penalty hits. Once you reach age 73 under current rules, the IRS requires you to withdraw a minimum amount from most retirement accounts every year, whether you need the money or not. Miss it, and the IRS can charge an excise tax on the amount you should have withdrawn, a penalty that, even after recent law changes reduced it, can still run into thousands of dollars for a single missed year. Most retirees who get hit with this penalty didn't ignore it on purpose. They simply didn't know the deadline existed. Mistake number 3. Withdrawing from accounts in the wrong order. Pulling from a traditional 401k first, when a Roth or taxable account would have triggered less tax, can quietly push you into a higher bracket year after year. There's no single right order for everyone, but withdrawing without ever comparing the tax impact of each account is the mistake, and it can add up to tens of thousands of dollars in unnecessary tax over a retirement. Mistake number 4. Missing the Medicare enrollment window. Your initial enrollment period is a 7-month window around your 65th birthday. Miss it without qualifying employer coverage, and Medicare adds a 10% penalty to your Part B premium for every full 12-month period you delayed. And that penalty is permanent, added to your premium for as long as you have Medicare. As of 2026, the standard Part B premium is $202.990 a month. Delay by 2 years and you're looking at roughly $243 a month for life. Delay by 5 years and it's closer to $304 a month every month permanently. This is one of the few retirement mistakes that literally never stops costing you. Mistake number 5. Carrying too much stock risk right up to retirement. This one is subtle because it doesn't look like a mistake in a rising market. It only shows up if a downturn hits in the first few years of retirement, right when you start withdrawing. This is called sequence of returns risk, and it's one of the most damaging, least understood risks in retirement planning. A portfolio that never adjusts its stock allocation as retirement approaches is exposed to this risk without the retiree ever realizing it, until a bad few years early in retirement forces withdrawals from a shrinking account at the worst possible time. Mistake number 6. Underestimating healthcare costs. Retirees often budget for premiums and assume that's the whole picture, forgetting deductibles, out-of-pocket maximums, dental, vision, and the possibility of long-term care. Healthcare tends to be one of the largest and most unpredictable expenses in retirement, and treating it as a fixed, minor line item is a mistake that quietly erodes the rest of the budget. Mistake number 7. Never building a tax bracket plan. Most retirees think about savings and investment growth, but very few think about which tax bracket they'll actually land in year by year, especially once RMDs, Social Security, and any part-time income start stacking together. Without a plan, retirees often let a traditional account grow untouched for decades, only to be pushed into a much higher bracket all at once when RMDs finally kick in. The exact opposite of what a little gradual planning, like small Roth conversions in lower income years, could have prevented. Now here's the part that matters more than any single mistake on this list. None of these 7 happen because someone did something reckless. They happen because retirement has dozens of moving deadlines, rules, and decisions, and it's easy to get 6 of them right while one quietly slips through. That's exactly why they're described as silent. They don't show up as one dramatic loss. They show up as a slowly smaller number every year that's hard to trace back to a single cause. Of course, every one of these mistakes plays out differently depending on your income, your accounts, your health, and your state. Tax law and Medicare rules can change. Market returns are never guaranteed. This isn't a checklist that applies identically to everyone. It's a starting point for the questions worth asking. So here's a simple 3-step plan. First, pull your actual numbers, your Social Security estimate at ssa.gov, your RMD start age, and your current account balances, instead of assuming. Second, map out which of these 7 mistakes you might already be making, even in a small way. Third, if more than one applies to you, that's usually the sign it's worth sitting down with a fee-only financial advisor or tax professional before, not after, the decisions become permanent. Mike's version of this story wasn't one big collapse. It was 7 small gaps that, added together, quietly cost him more than any single mistake ever could have on its own. Catching even 2 or 3 of them early can make a real difference in how far retirement savings actually stretch. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial tax or legal advice. The figures shown are based on rules and rates in effect as of 2026 and general illustrations, not a specific recommendation for your situation. Rules, tax brackets, and premiums can change. Always verify current figures at ssa.gov and medicare.gov, and consider speaking with a qualified financial advisor or tax professional before making retirement decisions. If you caught yourself in even one of these 7, subscribe to Mike's Money Adventures for more real retirement stories like this one. And drop a comment with which mistake surprised you the most. If you want to go deeper on any single one of these, the Social Security and RMD breakdowns are just a click away.